So I just decided I am no longer going to drink soda and I'm not eating sugar ever again.
Oh, you poor thing. Oh, now you're making me feel guilty.
Well, why would you feel guilty? I'm talking about me.
No, I mean, that's like now every time I hang out with you, I am thinking that I am not good enough because here you are all like high and mighty. I'm going to have sugar. I'm not going to drink soda. What's wrong with my Diet Coke?
It's not good for you. So I'm not going to drink it anymore,
So
but you're
now I'm
welcome
the
to.
loser?
Been there, done that.
Oh
Seen that
man, does
scenario
that
once or
sound
twice.
familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Where all of a sudden your positive changes are turned into something negative for the person that you hang out with, whether that's a spouse or a child or your best friend or whatever. All this, it's like, hey, look, this isn't an attack on you. This is me wanting positive change. So, this episode, let's talk about how to clearly communicate what support looks like so that they don't feel like it's a personal attack on them. Life is too short to not do what you know is right, to not do what you want to do, and to kowtow to other people's opinion of you. I mean, Heather and I talk all the time about get off of Pinterest, get off of Instagram, stop basing your success off of everybody else's amazing pictures and start doing what you want to do proactively.
Yes.
But so many times when we change, when we want to change, we have other people in our lives saying, well, so now I'm not good enough for you. So now everything that we had is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I don't want to, and to a certain extent, we can see that really well in our kids. Like if your friends aren't going to support you in this, you have the
Yeah.
wrong kind of friends.
Well, and we tell our kids that, but then what do we do? Do
Right?
we follow that same philosophy? If you have friends that are intentionally sabotaging you, like I have one client who her husband constantly is offering her treats and whatever and like really actively pushing it on her.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating because she's trying to, not have that stuff right now. She's trying to make some better choices and I see it all the time, whether it's spouses or friends or family.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as they find out that you're doing something healthy or you're
Dun, dun,
that,
dun.
they're like, oh, well, you're the healthy one. Well, you probably
Right.
wouldn't want to come with us when we do this or that.
Oh, you're the super organized one. So you're probably not going to want to come to my house anymore because my house doesn't look like Pottery Barn. And they get really self-conscious, and it really is a reflection of
Of
them
them.
than us.
Yes.
And it's easy to say it,
Mm-hmm.
but when you're in that relationship and
It's
you're
tough.
starting to break the status quo, that's tough.
It's way tough.
That's really hard to see. And so there are a couple of steps that we can go through to make sure that we don't jeopardize a relationship, but that we still get the support that we need and we want from these people, letting them understand that this is our personal journey. It has really nothing to do with them, but we could still use their love and support. Number one is make sure that you articulate what that relationship means to you. So, I mean, the most important relationship that you should have, if you are married, your spouse, your significant other, your partner, okay, the person that you spend the most time with, who you share your most intimate details with. Tell them what your relationship with them means. And let them know that their relationship does not hinge on what I am about to do.
Right.
So describe the relationship. Hey, you know what? I love working with you. I love doing this. This is, the relationship is built on this and this and this. I love the way that we bounce things back and forth. I love the way that, I'm big, fun, scatterbrained ideas, and you have the ability to come in and bring me back to earth and talk about details and all that kind of stuff. So define the relationship. And then number two, validate them. You know what? You are amazing in this. I am going to validate. This is how I want, you are just amazing. And I don't care if you don't change. Like this is all up to me. This does not have any personal reflection on you. So validate, validate, validate. And then state clearly, number three, what your change is going to be, your goals. This is what I am going to do. And this is what I hope to be able to see as I jump into this change. Then number 4, clearly state what being supportive looks like, sounds like, tastes like, feels like. You have to clearly articulate, hey, you know what, I'm going to go through this change. Heather, I'm going to stop drinking Diet Coke.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, thank you so much for being my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Friendship means the world to me. And friendship means that, you know what, I know that you're going to be my friend no matter what. Second of all, hey, I love who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go through some change, but that has no reflection on you. This is just a personal goal of mine. And I really want to stop drinking Diet Coke. Doesn't mean that I expect you to, but I really want to stop drinking Diet Coke. And for me, that support coming from you just looks like not offering me a Diet Coke when I come to your house. It doesn't mean that you have to offer me anything else. Like I can take care of myself and I can drink water if nothing else. So don't stress out about it, but just to be supportive of me, will you please just remember not to offer me Diet Coke when I come hang out with you? It's as easy as that.
Yep.
But now all of a sudden they know that you're not trying to jeopardize the relationship.
Right.
You're not trying to change who they are. And now it's very, very clear
Mm-hmm.
how you want them to behave.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love seeing that. Or you know what? I should change that. Now that I said that out loud, I'm going to rescind that last one. The way that I said it. So number 4 is clearly communicate what you want from them. I clearly communicated by saying a don't offer me Diet Coke. When we tell people what not to do,
that's what they focus on. You're right.
That puts it in
Yep,
a negative
you're right.
light. So instead, tell them positively, hey, instead of offering me Diet Coke, offer me a water instead.
Yeah.
So tell them what to do instead of what not to do. So, hey, when I come over, just offer me a water.
Yep.
It's not going to offend me. It's not going to, I just offer me a water instead of a Diet Coke.
Yep.
So tell them what to do instead, because then they know exactly what that looks like.
Right.
And then they know that
really
they don't
people
have to change.
Sometimes just need to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Like they don't know how to support you. They may think it's really great that you're doing that, and they may not even realize that what you're doing is the opposite of supporting.
Yeah.
And so if you just tell them exactly, hey, this is what you can do to help me out. I have another client that I've been working with for a long time, and she really struggled because she has adult kids. And when they come to visit, she was the ultimate, like, trying to stuff them full of food grandma.
Oh, yep.
And so it was messing with her diet and what she was trying to accomplish, because she was trying to feed them. And I said, well, do they? And then she started telling me that one of them is super health conscious. And I was like, hey, you're the mother-in-law that's sabotaging things. And she was like, you think?
Oh, no.
And I was like, yeah. You're trying to show how much you love them by baking for them and making these awesome dinners. I said, but they probably they don't dread coming, but they probably have to mentally prepare to come to your house so that they can figure out how to kindly say no, because they're trying to be healthy. Mm-hmm. And she was like, what?
I never realized.
Yeah. And and so sometimes you just need to kind of show people, hey, I'm trying to be healthier. Let's have a salad instead. Mom, you don't have to bake for me when I come.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I love your cookies. They're amazing. And you're an amazing baker. But if you're doing this just for me, please know you don't have to. Yeah. I would be just as happy with a salad
or a loaf of bread instead of cookies.
Yeah.
And pies.
Yeah. But she truly had no idea. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't just sabotaging them. She was sabotaging herself. Because, when it's around, you eat it.
Yeah.
And so I told her, well, what if you just didn't bake it? And she was like, oh, I could never. I'm like, well, do they expect it? And she's like, no, of course not. Well, then what in the world?
Don't worry about it.
Don't
stop stressing about
Stop
it.
Stressing. It's one less thing you have to worry about. I said, and then we discussed focusing on the relationships and the people, as opposed, because a lot of times we mistake food for the way that we show love or we socialize together. I mean, it seems like
gift giving is a big one too.
Yeah.
I give you this thing to show you that I love you.
Right. Bake you some cookies or give you a pie or whatever. But what if you just focused on, instead of having, the perfect party treats and this big elaborate meal. What if you just focused on like being with those people?
Yeah.
And dinner wasn't the main focus. That happens, we eat, but that's not like the main reason for getting together. And I think if you shift your focus to the relationships, the people, and you allow them know that, you say, hey, I really value your friendship. Let's just go talk. We don't need to go get a Coke to talk.
We did that as a family. We all got together for Thanksgiving one year. And this was the first time in a lot of years that all of us had been in the same place. And we thought, you know what, the biggest thing for us is each other and being able to converse. And none of us liked the idea of spending all day cooking, because none of us like to cook. That is not the way that we show love.
Mm-hmm.
And so my sister said, well, hey, why don't we just cater it out? And all of us just kind of stopped and said, can we actually
Is that a thing?
do that? And we got the entire Thanksgiving meal catered. We had no stress. We had no cleanup. We had no prep time. But it was delicious food from this catering company. And what did we do all day? We sat around on the couch and talked.
Yeah.
And we played games and we told jokes and we shared remembrances. And it was not about the food. It was about the people.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, what else can we do about this now? We are going to have those people who gift giving is their love language, or acts of service is their love language. I am going to serve you by making you cookies. I am going to show you that I love you by giving this gift. And so with them, it's a lot easier not to give them specifics and say, I want you to do this, but give them just parameters and say, look, I know that you love giving gifts. We're focusing on this area over here. So instead of giving us toys, we have so many toys. Can you please focus on books?
Yeah.
And I don't care what kind of books you give, but will you please focus on books? So you just set parameters and let them run within the parameter. Hey, I know that you love baking. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Validate. Okay. Thank you so much for thinking of us. Instead of doing cookies, would you mind experimenting with some savory dishes instead? Or, just little hors d'oeuvres. My kids really like crackers, peppers, and cheese. Can we try that with a side of like almonds? I mean, you don't have to do that. I'm just giving you an idea. So set some guidelines and parameters and then let them show their love within those parameters. So you can't, you can't ever tell a gift-giving grandma, stop giving my kids stuff. It's not going to work. They're going to do it anyway.
Any more Legos.
No.
So, but you can. I was thinking about that the other day because my kids are getting older and the gifts are just, my daughter still plays with dolls and we've got enough doll paraphernalia for 12 little girls. And I just found out about, I've known about the subscription services, like the box things, like learning things or whatever. And I thought, gosh, dang it. Why didn't I think of this? They just both had birthdays.
Oh,
that's a brilliant idea for grandparents.
Yeah.
And they can do it one time. It doesn't have to be the monthly. They can just do it one time, but it's a craft or it's a STEM project or it's learning about another country or whatever.
Yeah.
And brilliant. You can funnel them that way. And then you're not getting a bunch of clutter that's filling up your house and not a bunch of more Legos that you have to find more bins for more Legos.
Yeah.
But grandma still gets to spoil the kids and they get something really cool out of it.
Yeah.
But you got to channel them that way.
Yeah.
I really wish that I thought of that.
Start small and simple so they get used to the idea. When my kids and I went off sugar, it was fun and it was a challenge and it was something that we were going to try and get a reward at the end. And there for a while, everybody just kind of went, and now they're actively helping us. Our grandparents are absolutely helping us coming up with cool ideas. So sometimes they just have to get used to the idea and used to a change in the status quo. So, you're wanting to be more organized at home. So you call your best friend, say, hey, I love you. Love how we can hang out, like without skipping a beat. We can be a hot mess together. There's defining the relationship, right? hey, I love how we can be a hot mess together. And you know what? The house doesn't have to be perfect in order for you to be my friend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's validating that I'm not expecting you to be perfect. I love you the way that you are. Hey, we're going to try something new though. And we're going to try to be a little bit more organized in my house. So what that just means, to show that support, when you come over, will you just please make sure that your shoes and your kids' shoes end up on the mat instead of being brought into the house? Simple, easy, small
Yeah.
baby steps. And then once they're used to that, then we can say, hey, you know what, we're taking it one step further and we're going to put a toy rotation in place. So the next time you come, just your kids are going to see that we don't have as many toys. So just support from you is to say, hey, you know what, kind of prime the pump with your kids to let them know that things are going to look a little bit different.
Yeah, I love it.
So small and steps. So again, number one, define the relationship and let them know that you love them and that you're in a relationship with them, whatever that looks like, because of them, not because of whatever it is that you're going to change.
Right.
Then number two, validate them that they don't have to change. This is a you thing, not an us thing. Then say what it is that you want to do. Number three, so that they know what your goal is. And then number four, ask them to show you their support by doing a specific thing. Yep. And then, say thank you, praise them.
Love it.
That.
Love it.
Praise them.
That's huge.
Yes.
That's huge.
But then you all of a sudden have the support through a change that otherwise might have backfired.
Yep. So who are you going to ask and what are you going to ask them for? That's the question.
And that's the homework for the week. Ask them, figure out how to turn something negative into a positive, and that change that you've been dragging your feet doing because you know that they're not gonna
they're gonna give me a hard time.
They're gonna give me a hard time. They're gonna offer me stuff that's gonna be a temptation. Then find that person, make a change, and walk through that step-by-step process to see how it goes.
Yep.
And then let us know. And if you need to, share this episode with them so that they know what you're doing.
There you go.
That way it comes from the professionals, not from you.
Yep.
Okay. So share, like, subscribe, let us know how it goes, and we will see you next week.
Bye.